At first glance, I might not have noticed how much these two movies have in common. The commonalities are somehow quieter, and they required me to look more deeply, beyond the level of dramatic murder mystery for entertainment. In other words, deep messages about the social issues and cultural wounds of Native Americans are threads woven into both movies. And yet, at the same time, both movies bring a hopeful message by showing how these deep cultural levels are still alive for Native Americans. First, both movies have protagonists who face significant internal conflict. Rudy, in Skins, loves and cares for his alcoholic brother, Mogi, most of the time. And at times, he also hates Mogi for just how lost he and his life are. Also, Rudy is a reservation police officer. He seeks to do a good job. Yet apparently he doesn't feel like justice will be done in some cases, so he takes the law into his own hands. No pun intended. Or it might really be the spell of the spider that he cannot control. Using a baseball bat, he broke the knees of two boys. And he also started the fire at the liquor store that burned Mogi. Whether these violent acts of his are because of his rage, or the spider, or both, when he shares his vigilante exploits with Mogi, he doesn't shirk responsibility for his actions. Ray, the protagonist in Thunderheart, also faces significant internal conflict, but it doesn't show up until we get into the movie. What we learn at the beginning is that he doesn't know his native heritage at all. Yet he's only being sent to Pine Ridge because he is part Native American. A honcho high in the FBI gives him the assignment. In his ignorance, he thinks that because Ray has native blood, then Indians will listen to him. So the first level of conflict for him is that he has blocked his native heritage. A deeper level of conflict, however, emerges as the movie progresses and as he learns more about Indian culture and about himself. I was especially impressed with how the movie unfolded the more spiritual level of Ray's psyche by weaving together Ray's vision, the wise old medicine man, Grandpa Samuel Richards' words and advice with Walter Crowhorse as ally, translator, and tribal police officer. An especially touching moment is when Walter expresses his envy towards Ray as the new kid on the block because he had a vision of a past life during the massacre at Wounded Knee in 1890.
You had yourself a vision. Man waits a long time to have a vision. Might go his whole lifetime and never have one. Along comes some instant Indian with a fucking Rolex and a brand new pair of shoes. Goddamn FBI to top it all off has himself a vision.
Secondly, both movies have supernatural elements that show a relationship between the human and animal worlds. In Skins, one of the supporting characters is the Black Widow spider. First, the spider bites Rudy when he is a child, and Mogi both saves his life and tells him of the power of the Black Widow to invade Rudy's consciousness and lead to trouble.
Itomi, the trickster spider, a Lakota spirit, had reappeared in my life. I was 10 years old when we first met in the outhouse one spring morning.
What the heck's wrong with you, Rudy? Black Widow bit my nuts. The damn bug. That was no bug, Rudy. Itomi got you. The trickster likes to sneak around and mess with people's lives.
My older brother, my Chia, Mogi Yellow Lodge, saved my life that day. He carried me and my swollen testicles to safety. He said he would only save a brother's life once, and after this, I was on my own.
Later, the Black Widow returns. This time, Rudy believes the spider invades his consciousness and leads him to create violent acts, even though he's a policeman. In Thunderheart, there is a supporting character, Jimmy, who is described as a shapeshifter. A shapeshifter is a person who can change, at will, into an animal. After Jimmy escapes being arrested, we see a beautiful buck jumping the fence and fleeing. Is it Jimmy? Sometime after Jimmy leaves, a wonderful dog shows up. Again, we wonder, along with the main character Ray, is this dog perhaps a shape-shifted Jimmy? The dog decides to hang out with Ray. Ray calls him Jimmy. The dog is adorable and almost seems human. Third, both movies bring in elements that are sacred to Native Americans. One element is their traditional healer or medicine man, and another is ceremony. In Skins, Rudy visits a young medicine man and asks for help to remove the power of the spider from his consciousness. The medicine man agrees to help him through the sacred ceremony of the Sweat Lodge. Native Americans believe in keeping some aspects of their ceremonies secret. In this movie, as a way to honor the sacredness of the ceremony, the screen goes black when they are in the lodge itself. In Thunderheart, there also is a Sweat Lodge ceremony. However, in this case, it serves as a backdrop to yet another power move on the part of the white man and the goons to capture Jimmy. The wise old medicine man, Grandpa, comes out of the lodge first at gunpoint, which just further illustrates the violence and violation of the FBI and the goons towards the people of Pine Ridge.